Kostya Tszyu Biography, Early Life, Career, Achievements, Personal Life. Konstantin Borisovich Kostya Tszyu is a Russian-Australian professional boxer who is a two-time world light welterweight championship. As a professional boxer, he competed from 1992 to 2005. Regarded as one of the hardest-hitting light welterweights, he relied heavily on accuracy and timing, and had daunting punching power. He won a bronze medal in the lightweight division at the 1989 World Championships and a gold in the light welterweight division at the 1991 World Championships. He also won gold medals at the 1989 and 1991 European Championships. His biography Kostya, My Story, released in 2005, narrates his story of a child who turned to boxing to protect himself in the harsh environment of Siberia, and went on to become a world champion. Kostya, who has not yet retired from boxing officially, fought his last match in 2005, which he lost. In his career, he has won 31 out of 34 fights, 25 of them with a knockout. He is the first champion to unify all the belts the light welterweight division in over 30 years. Ranked as the #1 junior welterweight of the decade 2000s by Ring magazine. He was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in December 2010. Kostya Tszyu Childhood Early Life. Kostya Tszyu was born on September 19, 1969, in Serov, an industrial town in the former Soviet Union. To a Korean and Mongol father, who was a fitter in a metal factory, and a Russian mother, who was a nurse. His father put a hyperactive Kostya in a boxing gym so that he could channelize his energy and also protect himself by fighting older boys. The Soviet amateur team coaches were impressed with the boy and sent him to the Soviet Union's amateur boxing traveling training camps. While getting trained and fighting in tournaments simultaneously, he visited more than 30 countries and won various tournaments, like the Amateur Boxing World Championships. In 1987, at the Cuban World Championship Tournament, he was placed second, and at the 1988 Summer Olympics, he reached till the third round. He joined the Soviet military for some time, but did not go to war because he was selected as an elite athlete. In 1989, he participated in the World Championships in Moscow and took the third place. In 1991, he participated in the Amateur World Championships in Sydney. Impressed by the sights of Sydney, he decided to live in Australia. With the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, he immigrated to Australia, became an Australian citizen, and settled in Rockdale, Sydney. Kostya Tszyu Career. Kostya Tszyu turned professional in March 1992 at Melbourne and defeated Daryl Hills by a knockout. In his fourth professional bout, he beat former WBC featherweight champion Juan Laporte, and in his sixth bout, he beat Sammy Fuentes by a knockout. He again beat Fuentes in 1993. In the same year, he defeated Livingston Bramble, a former world lightweight champion, at Newcastle, New South Wales. In 1994, he beat Hector Lopez by a decision in 10, and Angel Hernandez by a knockout in 7. After the win against Pedro Chinito Sanchez by a knockout in 4, Kostya was ranked #1 in the light welterweight division. In 1995, he knocked welterweight champion Jake Rodriguez in the 6th round and became the world champion. He defended the title by defeating former super featherweight and light welterweight world champion Roger Mayweather, Hugo Pineda, Corey Johnson, and Jan Bergman. In 1997, he lost for the first time to Vince Phillips, and his world championship also went with it, after he defeated former world champions Calvin Grove and Rafael Ruiz. He beat Diospolis Hurtado by a knockout in 5. He became the world champion once again in 1999 by beating former world champion Miguel Angel Gonzalez in 10, and twice retained it in 2000. By beating Ahmed Santos in 8, and Julio Cesar Chavez, the former world champion, in 6. In 2001, Tszyu faced WBA champion Shamba Mitchell, taking the belt by a TKO after 7 rounds. In the same year, he defeated the German Turk, Oktay Erkal. He finished the year by recovering his IBF belt in a unification bout with champion Zab Judah by a knockout. As a result, Kostya became the first man in 30 years to unify the belts in the light welterweight division. In 2002, he had only one bout, where he beat Ben Taki of Ghana, the top-ranked contender of all 3 of his belts. He began 2003 by a fight against former world champion Jesse James Leger, whom he defeated by a knockout in 6, and retained his title. In 2004, he had a rematch with Shamba Mitchell. His first fight as a professional in Moscow, where he knocked him out in 3 rounds. The fight proved that he was still one of the finest pound-for-pound boxers in the game. He was voted the Comeback Fighter of the Year by Ring magazine. He last fought on June 5, 2005, losing an 11th round TKO to Ricky Hatton at the MEN Arena, Manchester, Lancashire. He also lost his world title by referee technical decision (RTD). Afterwards, what initially seemed like a brief break from boxing for Kostya, then 38, eventually turned into his unofficial retirement. Currently, Kostya gives between 30 to 50 private boxing lessons a year to some wealthy Russians who want to go a few rounds with a world champion. Kostya Tszyu Awards Achievements. Kostya Tszyu is a 2-time light welterweight world champion. As an amateur, he represented the Soviet Union at the 1989 World Championships and earned a bronze medal in the lightweight division. He won a gold medal in the light welterweight division at the 1991 World Championships. He also won gold medals at the 1989 and 1991 European Championships. In 1995, he won his first professional world championship in light welterweight, the IBF title. He also won the vacant WBC title in 1999 and the WBA Super title in 2001. Kostya Tszyu Personal Life. Kostya Tszyu married Natasha Onykina on September 24, 1993, after they immigrated to Australia. They have 3 children, Anastasia, Nikita, and Tim. Tim and Nikita are both boxers. In 2012, he separated from his wife Natasha and moved back to Moscow. His children are settled in Australia. Kostya has citizenship for both the countries. He now lives in the outskirts of Moscow with his second wife Tatiana Averina, a former model and PR executive, whom he married in 2015. They have 2 children, Alexander and Victoria. Kostya is an animal lover and has several pets, including a Rottweiler, who has been with him for years, a pet diamond python, canaries, and fish. He is involved in several court battles with his managers. One of his ex-managers, Susie Bennell, took him to court alleging that he owed her money. He was also asked to repay $3.5 million to another ex-manager, Bill Morday. Leave your comments in the comment video below. Don't forget to share with your family and friends.